Hey guys, Frightener22 here, and welcome to my April 22nd DVD update. I know this DVD update's coming a few days later than I, kind of expected it to be, but nonetheless, it's a pretty quick turnaround from the last DVD update that I did, and in that one I did promise that I'm going to be doing these a lot more, a lot sooner than I have been because I've just been sitting on so much, past stuff that I haven't shown you guys. Like, I think I mentioned in the last one that I had like 4 Word document pages of things that I still need to show you guys. So this is stuff that's probably like 2 months old. It definitely is 2 months old. So, I need to start just chipping away at showing these things to you guys in these DVD updates. So they're hopefully going to come every like week and a half-ish. So I'm kind of keeping true to my word in that. Now, I'm sure you guys are wondering, Frightener, why are you wearing that really awesome, cool-looking Woody hat and then wearing a Walt Disney World Disney Parks hoodie? Well, in this installment of my DVD update, this is going to be a very unique and I believe this is the first time that anything like this has ever happened in any of my DVD updates, but coincidentally, all the Blu-rays and DVDs of which there is only one in this update, that I'm about to show you are all from one company. It's not Universal Studios. Surprisingly, it's actually my favorite company, Disney. That's right. So I figured I'd go out in full Disney gear to kind of show this stuff to you. And really, this was kind of going on, all the titles that I'm about to show you were kind of going on when I wanted to I got really OCD on collecting all the Blu-rays that have slipcovers, ones that I really felt were necessary in, my never-ending Disney collection, as well as a lot of their most recent, like, live-action efforts and stuff. So I picked up a lot of stuff. So this is really going to be, like, Frightener22's Disney DVD Update Volume 1, because I know that there's a whole slew of other stuff, past stuff that I've gotten that are also Disney-related that I haven't shown you, but this is really, like, the first big bulk of it. So, without any more rambling, let's go ahead and get right into this April 22nd DVD Update. Now, the first one I got is the Blu-ray DVD digital copy pack of Adam Sandler in Bedtime Stories. This one, I remember it coming out. I missed it in theaters. I wasn't too impressed with it, or at least impressed by the trailers of it. But, nonetheless, it's Disney. I always want to give it the benefit of the doubt because there's always something that could be, magical or fun to be had in these movies. So I did a blind buy on it, basically to be OCD to get the slipcover. And yes, I believe I mentioned this in the last DVD update. Trying to track down the slipcovers that have been out for quite a few years is incredibly hard to do because they're only really issued in the first original pressing of each of the Blu-rays. And once the first pressing sells out, they don't keep printing up more slipcovers to go over it. So if you're really OCD, make sure you buy your Disney Blu-rays the first week of release. That way you don't have to, sweat it out later, hoping for a cheaper price to happen, because very rarely do Disney Blu-rays go down on sale. Although, recently, I think just this week, Tron Legacy, the Blu-ray DVD pack, actually went down to $15.99, which I thought was really low for a title like that. But then again, I'm sure that the slipcover is probably not coming with that anymore because it's been a while since its original release. But nonetheless, Bedtime Stories was the first one I got. It was a total blind buy. I watched it. I actually thought it was pretty fun. It's not the greatest Disney live-action movie that they've created. I mean, they've done so many great things in the past few years, like the unforgettable Pirates of the Caribbean trilogy, and, the more underrated things like Prince of Persia and Sorcerer's Apprentice, and even John Carter. Anybody out there that saw that movie, I'm sure you'll get that. I'm anxiously awaiting for the June release date of that, because I can't wait to revisit that one. But, Bedtime Stories was harmless, family entertainment fun. Adam Sandler is kind of playing his typical self. I mean, that's basically what he's best known for, and he's kind of developed quite a knack in these family kind of friendly films that are mainly directed at kids, but, this one kind of had a cool little plot and had some pretty funny sequences to go along with it. So overall, I wasn't, disappointed by this film. It was just decent, a little mediocre. The next one I got was actually an interesting one that I scooped up from a good buddy of mine who was kind enough to just give this to me, so I really appreciate it. And it's actually the Blu-ray DVD version of Toy Story 3, the Studio Commemorative Edition. Now, basically, this is actually a really unique piece in my collection, because this is a commemorative edition that were just handed out to people that worked on Toy Story 3 or people that work at the Walt Disney Studio. And it comes with a slipcover, which is cool, and underneath it's the exact same image. I believe this was really like the teaser poster image. I always really liked this image, and I thought that this was, I thought it was inevitable that this was going to be the image that they were going to use on the US Blu-ray. Nonetheless, the image that they did use, I do like too, but this one is a really cool, iconic image of the Toy Story 3 posters, but it's cool because it was only given out to people that work directly in the film. I know collectors online and on eBay sell it because they kind of get their hands on it one way or another. Everybody's an obsessive collector, so you find ways to get your hands on it. But on the back, it's cool. It's actually a little note from the president and CEO of Walt Disney, Bob Iger, and on the back he writes, "Once again, the incredibly talented creative team at Pixar took audiences to infinity and beyond. Thank you all for making Toy Story 3 such a phenomenal success across our entire company." So it's kind of cool. It just kind of makes it that much more personal that it's a little, note from the president of the company just to be like, here's a free Blu-ray of this, wonderful product that you guys put out that the whole world seems to have just fallen in love with and made us quite a pretty buck. So yeah, it's a really cool one to have, just because of, the real, unique quality of it. So I'm happy to have this, and thanks again for my buddy for picking it up for me. The next one is a Blu-ray DVD combo pack of a Walt Disney Animation Pictures film that it was kind of it's a CG related film. It's not Pixar developed at all. It's Walt Disney Animation trying their hand at CG animation, and this is Bolt. This was another one that I missed out on theaters, and I wanted to check it out forever. I Netflixed it on Blu-ray originally. Thought it was okay, and I just wanted to pick it up for collector's mentality. This was Disney's first foray into CG animation without Pixar's involvement. It was just the Disney Animation Studios doing CG on their own. And it's okay. I know people that like this definitely way more than me. The animation in it is really good. It's got the voice talent of John Travolta and Miley Cyrus, so, take what you will from that. I think that they both do a pretty good job, and I love Travolta. Miley Cyrus kind of just does what she's meant there to, be, she's there for what she's meant for, and that's basically it. But the animation is really good. The story didn't really, draw me in as, many other Walt Disney animated films, but nonetheless, I thought it was a pretty cool, pretty cool title, and, like I said, it's the first foray that, Disney Animation did with CG, animation on their own. I think that the follow-up CG film that Disney Animation did, which was Tangled, was far, far superior, and I think many people would agree with that. But nonetheless, Bolt is, great for its, technical, capabilities that they achieved in this one. It looks and sounds great on Blu-ray, and, this might whet your appetite a little bit more than it whet mine, but, I enjoy it. It's okay. The next one I actually saw it in theaters. Again, it's a Blu-ray DVD combo pack. Again, it's based on true events. I thought it was okay, but again, 50% of me bought it for sheer collector's mentality, but then the other part of me was like, you know what, I think it would be kind of cool to revisit this at some point, so I'll be happy to have it. And this is Diane Lane and John Malkovich in Secretariat. Like I said, this was based on a true story about a racehorse and the relationship that, develops between, the owner of the racehorse, who is played by Diane Lane, and, the struggles and triumphs that they take this horse on into becoming this, award-winning racehorse. So, Disney's kind of known for doing these real-life-based, inspirational live-action films, and for the most part, they do succeed in them. This one, when I saw it, my first viewing experience when I saw it in theaters, I had an unbelievably, it's actually, I'm a really bad sufferer of migraines. I get them every few days, really, really bad. When I saw this theatrically, I had hands down the worst migraine I've ever experienced in my entire life. I still attribute seeing this movie to, you know, the worst migraine I've ever had in my life, and since then. So it wasn't really the most pleasant viewing experience, so maybe that might have had a bit to do with my kind of lackluster feelings towards it. Although, you know, I'm excited to revisit it because you know, that viewing experience alone may have kind of, you know, tarnished what I would have thought of the movie overall had I had seen it, you know, in, you know, the best of health. But, you know, my first reactions from it, from that really dreadful screening, was that it was just okay. It wasn't anything great. But like I said, I'm a Disney OCD fanatic, so I'm glad to have it in the collection, and more importantly, really happy to revisit it without a blistering migraine. The next one I got is actually, it's Walt Disney Pictures in association with Spyglass Entertainment. I believe this came out in 2007. Never saw it. I enjoyed the cartoon. I just bought the complete series of the cartoon from Shout Factory just like a week or two ago. You guys will see that probably like 5, 6, 7 DVD updates from now because I'm so behind, but it's coming. And I picked this up, you know, there's no slipcover with it, but I picked it up because it was like $7.99 and I wanted it in the Disney collection, and this is Underdog. You know, like a live-action kind of CG-esque, you know, blending, you know, CG animation like they did with, like, Scooby-Doo and stuff with live-action actors. It was a blind buy, haven't gotten to it, so I can't really comment on it, but have it in the collection. The next one I got, and to the best of my knowledge, this was inspired by another true story, and this again was Disney Pictures in association with Spyglass Entertainment. This is starring Paul Walker from the Fast and Furious films in 8 Below. Again, another, you know, real-life drama, yada yada. Long story short, I haven't seen it yet. I bought it a few weeks ago. Like I said, I bought all these Disney titles in a big OCD rush, so I've been sitting on a lot of, you know, Disney live-action stuff and animation stuff that I'm slowly starting to chip away at, but 8 Below is one that I haven't gotten to, so can't comment on it. You're going to be hearing that a lot for the next few Blu-rays, so just be forewarned. The next one is a Blu-ray DVD combo of another real-life inspirational type film that Disney is known for. This is Mark Wahlberg in Invincible. I've heard that this movie is actually pretty damn good, so I'm excited about it. I've never been a lover of sports. I've actually hated sports. I was terrible at them as a kid, but, you know, I don't know what it is. There's so many sports-related films that I have fallen in love with over the years. I mean, I grew up on a lot of them and still hold a lot of them really dear to my heart, like The Sandlot, Rudy, you know, things like that. Like, I mean, I don't like sports, but I enjoy sports movies. It's the weirdest thing. But, yeah, Invincible sounds like it's going to be a good time. I've heard good things about it, and I do like Mark Wahlberg, so this could be, you know, all the ingredients for a good viewing experience. Another film, it's a Blu-ray DVD combo starring the great Denzel Washington. It's a Jerry Bruckheimer production. Of course, he would go on to produce the Pirates of the Caribbean trilogy. Actually, it's more than a trilogy now. There's 4 films, and, you know, he's just had a great relationship with Disney overall for many, many years, and this is Remember the Titans. This is one that I haven't seen yet. You know, it's pretty old. I think it's like 10 or so years old. A lot of people really, really dig this film. I don't know if I will yet. Like I said, haven't seen it, so we'll see. The next one, I'll probably get crap for this one, but what do you expect from me? I'm wearing a friggin' Woody hat on YouTube right now, so of course I'm going to buy a lot of Disney films that might be a little too, you know, deep Disney for some people's taste, but I love all Disney, so it's fine. This is a Blu-ray DVD combo pack starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in The Game Plan. I think this is just going to be like, you know, cute little innocent family fun, you know, stuff, so I'm excited to check it out. I think it's going to be, you know, fun in that respect, so I'm looking forward to this one. The next one I got is an interesting one, and I'm excited to check it out for a variety of reasons. Visually, it looks cool. I thought that the trailer seemed kind of cool, but it was kind of it came out in the time where Harry Potter, you know, really struck a chord with audiences, and then there was just like a whole slew of, you know, fantasy-inspired films that were kind of aimed at the same demographic as Harry Potter. You know, there was this film, like, you know, Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events, just a lot of, like, offbeat, kind of darker, fantasy-esque types of films that were definitely trying to cash in on the craze that Harry Potter created. But this one, it's Disney, and I always wanted to check it out, and this is actually British to Terabithia. And a big reason why I did want to see this, amongst from the talent in it, which is pretty good talent. It was actually directed by Gabor Supu, and that name may be familiar because that person was directly involved with the creation of one of the best, if not the best, Nickelodeon cartoon, Rugrats. So this is one of the few directed films that he's done. I think this may have been his only live-action film that he's done to date. So on that alone, I'm actually excited to see what this guy will do with a live-action film. So I'm excited to check this one out. The next one I got is an interesting one that seemed really cool, kind of like superhero family and whatnot. It seems kind of similar to The Incredibles. I don't know, because guess what? Haven't seen it yet either. But this is Sky High. It seems cool. I think that's what it is about. Obviously there's more to the story than just that, but I think it's a family of superheroes, and that's, coming at you from somebody that knows the bare minimum about it. The next one I got, is a Blu-ray DVD combo pack, and this one was one that I was kind of like on the fence with should I get it, should I not? Does it really belong in my collection, since I don't even own things like High School Musical or, Hannah Montana? That's not really my type of Disney. That's like the tween generation of Disney, and it's kind of, appealing to like the kids of this generation, whereas so many of the other Disney stuff is classic, or it's kind of timeless, like it's just kind of family fun thing. But this type of thing, the High School Musical, Hannah Montana, is kind of like dated to like now. And this kind of seemed like it fit that ilk, but I bought it anyway because it kind of seemed like what they were trying to do was kind of cash in. Not really cash in, but it's kind of inspired by, the teen films of John Hughes. So when I kind of heard that that's what this film was trying to do, my interest got a little bit piqued. I'm like, well, if that's where you're coming from, I'm curious. I want to see how good it could be, or at the very least how bad you messed it up. But the fact that you're trying to pull off a Hughes-esque, teenage dramedy for today's audiences, that's kind of got me intrigued, and that's why I did go ahead and pick up the Blu-ray DVD combo pack of Prom. Yeah, I know. Why do I have this in my collection? You might wonder, but all the reasons I just said sums it up just nicely, and that's going to be okay for everybody right now. But in the most recent news, the chairman of the Walt Disney Pictures Company just resigned, apparently, from his role at Disney. I say resigned because, when you go on so many things like Hollywood Reporter and Deadline.com, there's people say about, like, forced resignation due to, like, a lot of, the $200 million write-down that Disney had to make on the flop of John Carter and whatnot. And a lot of the stuff that, was greenlit and is coming out, in the upcoming months, this guy didn't even really greenlight. It was stuff that was kind of already put into effect before he kind of put on. But Prom was actually one of the very few titles that he did greenlight, take it from, the beginning down to the finished product. So, for better or for worse, Prom is definitely a Disney film that kind of showcases, Rich Ross's legacy at Disney. So, that's another added reason today for me to kind of check it out, because I want to see exactly what this guy, had going at Disney. But I've heard not really the greatest things. Apparently, one of the worser things that I heard about it is that this is a film that kind of seemed like it was more suited to play on TV, like a TV movie or something, which is kind of an ouch thing to hear for, like, a Disney summer film. But nonetheless, I haven't seen it, so I can't judge, in general. But I am excited to check it out, because they, the plan was to kind of go for that 1980s kind of John Hughes feel, so we'll see if it, struck a chord with me. The next one I got is a Blu-ray DVD digital copy pack, and this is reteaming with Jerry Bruckheimer, and this is G-Force. Haven't seen this one yet. It seemed a little ridiculous when I was seeing the trailers, even for me being like a devoted Disney fan, but, the completist mentality, it's the Blu-ray combo pack with the slipcover, so I was happy to get this. But it's got a pretty cool, interesting voice cast in it. Nicolas Cage, Sam Rockwell, Jon Favreau, Penelope Cruz, Steve Buscemi, and Tracy Morgan. So it's got like a pretty cool voice cast to go along. Some people that have had relationships with Disney in there and stuff. So we'll see. It's got Jerry Bruckheimer, so there's got to be some decent stuff in it. 2 more live action films that I have not seen yet. Both, I believe, are real life sports dramas, whatnot. The first one is the Blu-ray DVD combo pack of The Greatest Game Ever Played, starring pretty young Shia LaBeouf. I believe this is from like 2005. It's about golf. That's all I can talk about. And the next one is another based on a true story basketball film with Jerry Bruckheimer Films again, and this is Glory Road. I've actually heard this one is a pretty good movie, akin to like Remember the Titans, but I've heard Remember the Titans and Glory Road being supposedly really, really good. So I'm excited. I'm sitting on a lot of like real-life inspirational sports films, so I should definitely get to them. And the final films that I'm going to show you are a recent direct-to-video line of films that have been doing quite well for Disney. One of the more recent ones I showed in an earlier DVD update earlier in the year around Halloween time, and it was the first one of them that I got because it was Halloween-inspired. I think you guys remember it was called Spooky Buddies. So I figured since I was on the OCD raid of getting all the the Blu-rays that have slipcovers, some of them, one of these Blu-rays actually was never issued with a slipcover, but, I was just going to go big or go home. Like, I'm not going to leave one entry of the series completely out because it did not have a slipcover. So I have every... this is where people are going to be like, tisk, 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 you are a really, really hardcore Disney fan. Way more than I ever would be, but yes, I am. So, yes, I'm going to showcase the Buddies collection. The first one in this, say what you will about these films, but they're pretty successful because Disney keeps churning them out year after year, so people are buying them. I think we can all agree on that. And the first one is surprisingly the only one that hasn't been at least reissued on Blu-ray, and this is Air Buddies. You can get this for like, I think $7 or $8 brand new on Amazon. I haven't even seen the first one yet, but this is the only way that you can currently get it. They only have it on DVD, so there it is. The next one is a Blu-ray DVD combo pack of Snow Buddies. And I gotta say, they really take a lot of pride in doing some really cool, slip covers with these embossed, kind of like 3-dimensional covers and, holographics going on, but I haven't watched this one yet. All of these I actually haven't seen. The only one that I have seen was the one that I did get in October, Spooky Buddies, because it was kind of a Halloween-themed entry. The third one in the series is Space Buddies, and yes, this is the only one in the series that surprisingly does not have a slipcover. It was never issued with a slipcover on Blu-ray, so if you're trying to collect them and get OCD with me, I've done all the research. This one was never issued with a slipcover, so don't pull your hair out trying to find a slipcover because it doesn't exist. This one was never issued with one. The next one is a Christmas-themed one, and this is Santa Buddies, The Legend of Santa Paws. I just got these recently, so obviously, like, the Santa Buddies ones are definitely ones that I'm not going to be watching, at least until Christmas time. And year after that, this is kind of more of a spin-off than it is a true, continuation or sequel of the actual Buddies movies. But this is a Blu-ray DVD combo pack of The Search for Santa Paws. Another Christmas-related one. And the most recent one just came out, I believe it was like January, and this is the Blu-ray DVD combo pack of Treasure Buddies. Kind of seems like it's taking on, like, an Indiana Jones-esque adventure film, with talking dogs, which is okay. I mean, I kept seeing TV spots for the Blu-ray DVD combo pack, just reminding me to pick it up. So, this one seems like it could be kind of fun. My friend told me it's, a pretty fun time, in regards to what you're getting. I mean, like, if you're going in to see a Buddies movies, and if you've ever seen one, of which I have seen, Spooky Buddies, you kind of know what you're going to get. So, it is what it is, but yes, I do have all the Buddies movies. Well, guys, that concludes this very special Disney-related DVD update from me. As always, thanks again for tuning in, and I will plan on continuing to do these DVD updates every week or week and a half or so. So this was about like the week and a half point, but like I said, I'm sitting on so much back stuff that I have to show you guys, so rest assured many, many more DVD updates will be on the way. I just need to sit down and turn the computer on and just gather up all of, the stuff that I'm sitting on and just being able to talk about them with you guys. So, as always, thanks again for tuning in. Comment, subscribe, do all the good stuff. I really appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys in another DVD update. Thanks again for tuning in. This has been Frightener22.